Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Overcoming Graduation with Brian Drury, a show where I work to teach you everything I wished I'd known about habits to help you take control of them and create your dream life today. Today is another installment of The Morning Commute, where I take my ride to work in the morning to share a short but powerful message with you to help you kick your day off on the right foot. And today's message is this: smiling, eating an apple. Yesterday I was at work and was feeling a little hungry. Knew I had a snack. I had an apple with me, but needed to go wash it off, maybe go get some more tea or coffee. So I went over to our little kitchen area and I washed off the apple and just started eating right there. I was starving. And I'm just sitting there feeling peaceful, feeling happy, enjoying my apple. And then I look over and my buddy Brandon is there and he's just laughing. And I was like, "What's up, dude?" And he goes, "You were enjoying that apple so much." And I just laughed. And he goes, "You're just like standing there smiling, eating an apple." And I said, "It's the simple things in life, dude." And he goes, "I couldn't agree more." But the beauty in this was, it wasn't just that I was really enjoying my apple. And in that moment, I was happy about the apple. That was a piece of it, though. It was a great apple. Nice, Granny Smith, good pop, nice and juicy. So, great apple. But what's changed recently for me is the way I've been experiencing my life. Is the way I'm looking at the world around me. It's the way that I'm looking at the things and the people and the places and the experience and the opportunities. Because I've been the happiest I've been in a very, very long time, maybe ever. Like that, maybe the happiest I've been ever, very recently. And it's been a result of work and changing the way I look at things and enjoying the ride more and doing self-love activities daily, which may sound so corny and cheesy. It always did to me. Even when I tried it in the past, it did. And I never stuck with it. I was like just looking in the mirror and saying, "I love you and I forgive you and I'm proud of you and you're doing a great job." Like, I'm like, what difference is that really going to make? Come on, dude. Like, that's positive thinking or self-help BS. That's nonsense. It's not a real thing. That's what I used to think. And then I reached a point where I realized that as I was setting goals, as I was looking at the things I wanted to achieve, I got very good, and I've gotten very good at setting goals and achieving them, and finding a way to get it done, and pushing through, and overcoming obstacles, and overcoming the barriers. I've gotten very good at that. But here was the thing. At no point with any of those prior goals did I ever set an intention or set a goal of what emotional state I wanted to be in while I was pursuing the goals. Not how I wanted to feel once I arrived, once I achieved it, once I published the book, or once I launched the program, or once I finished the challenge. I never set goals with the intention of what emotional state do I want to be in while I am pursuing this. And I have done a lot of goal setting training. I've done a lot of work both in the corporate and personal sector, in personal development, in my day job. I've done a lot of work on how to effectively set and achieve goals. And there's a lot of commonalities between the trainings. There's a lot of things that are consistent. But one of the things that I have not seen in any program I've done yet is emotional state, especially in the corporate world. In the corporate world, we get very focused on metrics and KPIs and all this shit where it's like, okay, here's your big long-term goal. Let's chunk the steps down to smaller goals. Then we have milestones and project management trackers to make sure that we're on track for success. And then we have communication mechanisms when things are delayed or when things change. That's pretty standard. Not to say that's not effective. I think that's a great way to set and achieve goals. But now what I'm doing is setting intention around the emotional state that I want to be in as I'm pursuing all of my goals this year. And here's what has changed. Here's the difference. So if I say, let's just throw something out there. Let's say write a book. If I say I want to write a book this year, and I go, great, that's my goal. Now again, your mind, your heart are going to go to work on that. They're going to say, all right, this is what Brian wants. We're going to help him get there. And that's the most important thing. So there's no other requirements. There's no other caveats. He said, write a book. And so imagine you pushed and grinded and you were tired constantly and you stayed up later than you should and you weren't eating because you were writing so much because you were so committed that it had to be done this year and this goal has to get done. And you didn't even say why the goal is important, because that's another big piece. And then you're pushing, you get sick a lot, and then you finally finish the book and you feel good for a day or two, and then you're like, fuck, that was miserable. I don't want to do that again. God, why would I want to dive into that hellhole again? That's a lot. And, guys, I've done that to myself in my own ways many times. Like, let's say podcasting, for example, with this show. I love recording episodes, and I love sharing it with all of you. But there have been many times where I hated the editing process. And I don't want to use the word hate, but I certainly was like, I don't want to do the editing and write the show notes and then do the tags and the links and set up the automation. It's just, why can't it just be? And I'm like, at one point I was like, Brian, that's what it takes to get it out there. Like, that's what it takes to have a podcast and have these messages reach people that can impact their lives. And so it's like you can bitch and moan about the reality of the situation, or you can just find a way to enjoy the ride and treat that as a part of the process. It's like people that say, I love exercising, but I don't like stretching. And then it's like they get an injury where they're out for 6 months because they didn't stretch. It's all of these things are components of the process. And some people, lots of people, especially with New Year's resolutions, set dietary or physical fitness goals. Here's the thing. Here's a big reason why a lot of people don't stick with their goal. And let's take the minority of people that actually do achieve a goal and then backslide. So let's say they wanted to lose 10 pounds. They wanted to go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, whatever it may be. Let's say they achieve it. They're doing great with it. But then, after a while, they fall off. And it's almost like, oh no. Here comes the old me coming back again. And this is a really interesting thing. So one piece of that, and we were just talking about this with a group of friends last night, is one piece is to have true habit change that lasts, there needs to be an identity shift that supports the habit change underlying it. Because if you say, I'm a fat person who never works out, and that's the identity you choose to assume, again, your mind and your heart are going to try and prove you right. So you will self-sabotage to keep the old patterns and habits because you're associating with that identity. But then to shift the identity and say, I'm a person who makes choices to put myself at my healthiest state. I choose foods that build me up and make me stronger. I crave things that lift me up, that fuel me right, that help me sleep better. It's like when we change that identity, then the mind and the body start to go, oh, okay, wait, hang on. No, I know we could have the cake right now, but we said that we choose things that will fuel us up good. And I know if I have cake right now, it's like right before bed, I'm not going to sleep well and all this. So why don't we try something else or have something different, or maybe just have tea? Who knows? So what's interesting? So all right, like that's a core foundational component. The identity underlying it. Who are you? If you say I'm a failure and I always fuck up at work, well, you're going to find a way to do that. You're going to, and what's interesting is our bodies and minds are very creative in the ways they work to keep us in the spots that we're at, to keep us stuck, because they think of it as safety. They think what we know is safe and it's predictable, and therefore we need to expend less energy, and therefore it's a better thing for us. It's known, and it's like it's better the known situation you don't like than the evil you don't know. There's some quote like that. It's better the evil you know than the evil you don't, I think is the actual quote. But, and it's just, you know what, I regret even saying that because of the word evil in the association. But guys, this is a morning commute, not editing it out, it's staying. So, but the idea is, people are, it's like, even if we're in a reality we don't like, a lot of times that feels safer than trying to do something that we know would be better or could be infinitely better. All right, so now that we have that core and that foundation, how do you get happy eating a damn apple? Because it's so simple. It's such a small thing. And I actually like felt joy and peace in that moment. I was really happy and I was really hungry. And I was like, oh, this is a great apple. I was like appreciating it. I wasn't even like doing a mindfulness activity. I was just like, this is a great apple. I'm going to crunch this down and then get back to work. And how do we get there? Because one of my mom's favorite quotes, one of my mom's kind of like life mottos was simple pleasures are the best. And if we can't enjoy the simple and small things on the way to goals and destinations and things, life becomes tough. And I'm saying this from experience, guys, because, you know, hey, I finished the first chapter and there's like a little bit of celebration. Cool. Good. There should be celebration. Hey, I'm working on, oh, hang on. Driving time, guys. Okay, we're good. All right. Yeah, there are times where I can be very focused, but there are times where the road definitely does need my attention. So, I finished the first chapter. That's great. Awesome. Fantastic. Hey, I wrote a line today, even though I didn't feel like writing at all, and it took everything I had just to write the one line. Awesome. Like celebrating those things along the way. My friend Kirk Nurmi, who just launched his latest book called Defending Your Greatness, so definitely go check that out. He talks about living with a sense of joyful urgency. Is that we're committed and we move quickly towards the things we want and to be with the people we want, to achieve our dreams and goals, but we do it with joy and passion and excitement and happiness. And so as we're goal setting and as we're planning for 2019 and as we're adjusting, it is so important to think about how you want to feel along the way. Because remember that first example I gave of just stressed and tense and destroying yourself because you said, I'm going to write a book and I'm going to find a way. When people do it that way, and I've done it that way, there are lots of times where people quit. And they go, this just sucks. It's not fun. Like, I'm not getting any enjoyment out of this, and it just feels like I'm punishing myself. It's a lot of people with their physical fitness routines, because there is a physical soreness or tension that can come after workouts. And when we do it that way, it's real easy to just be like, well, what the hell am I doing this for? But on the flip side, and actually before we move to the flip side, a way to even overcome it when you're not feeling great about it, or it's not like, oh, this is super fun and I'm just so blissful about it. It is connecting to a deeper and stronger reason why you're doing it. But this is the next level. So on the flip side, if you say, I want to write a book this year, and the emotional state I want to be in while I pursue these dreams and goals is I want to be happy, joyful, peaceful. I want to be of service. I want to connect with people daily. One of my commitments and goals for this year of my emotional state and kind of an action is I want to make time for people. That's not exactly an emotion, but it's associated to very strong emotions for me because of how connected I am to people and how much I get lit up by being around and connecting with and talking to people. So it ties to my emotional state. But if you say all those things, say I want to be happy, joyful, grateful, I want to be energized, I want to be well rested, boom, 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 then your mind and your heart go, okay, hey man, we really want to work on the book today, but we have to be done by 10 o'clock so we can get to bed so we can get a good amount of sleep. And we want to be energized, so we probably don't want to have, 6 beers before bed because we want to wake up early and get some writing done. We want to be grateful, so we'll probably have to work in some area of gratitude and appreciation daily so that we can really say, we can recognize our progress and celebrate it ourselves and not wait for somebody else to do it. And if I want to be peaceful about it, well, maybe I need to work in some practices to deal with my stress. And maybe that's exercise, and maybe it's meditation, maybe it's journaling, or maybe it's just shifting my focus to the positives in my life versus staying focused on the negatives. Seeing all the abundance and joy and love and gratitude and peace that's there rather than focusing on what's not there at the moment. It completely changes the game. And so that's what I'm doing. And guys, I've been significantly happier. It's not to say I didn't have happy moments and times, but like in my general day-to-day, it just felt in general, it was stressful and like pushing. And let's go, let's push, let's work, let's get it done, let's get the next goal. Like which there are some good things in developing that tenacity and that ability to push through when things don't feel good. But also, I want to feel good the majority of the time. I want to feel great the majority of the time. I want to be celebrating. I want to see all the blessings in my life. I want to see all the beauty. I want to be there for people and not get so caught up in all my own bullshit that I miss an opportunity to connect with or help with somebody else or laugh or have them help me. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Like, we need it sometimes too. And sometimes just getting out of our own head enough, we have a conversation with someone, they make us laugh and we go, you know what? I was really overreacting. That's not even that serious. So for you, as you think about the things that you want to achieve this year, what's the emotional state you want to focus on? Because I'm checking in with that emotional state. I've written it down, and now I'm going to build these goals and these statements into things that I put up on my wall that I'm checking in with daily. What's the emotional state that you want to be in? Who do you want to be as you're becoming who you want to become? And that sounded crazy, I know. But how do you want to feel on the ride? If you're taking a 6-hour road trip, do you want to enjoy just getting there or the road trip itself? The memories you make with the people that you're on the trip with? The goofy, quirky things that happen that you find a way to laugh about? How do you want to enjoy the ride? Because I want all of you to enjoy, just smile like a fool eating an apple because I felt really good. And then it made somebody else smile. You know that whole be the change you want to see in the world? That wasn't a deliberate thing. I was just enjoying my apple and enjoying my life, and that made my buddy Brandon laugh. And that's a beautiful thing. And there's a quote that says, you can't give what you don't have. And that quote used to piss me off because I was like, well, I'm a coach and I want to help people live better lives. And I do. But I'm not very happy. And so you're saying I can't give them happiness. I'm like, I know that's not true. I've helped people become much happier even when I'm not feeling great. So I'm like, so that quote's not true. And it's like, but you can certainly give a lot more of it when you understand it, when you know where it's come from. And the other thing is, guys, if you're not in that state, you're like, oh, well, I can't give happiness or gratitude or peace or whatever. You know what? Here's the amazing opportunity. When you learn how to do it, you're much better at teaching it. If it just happens naturally and organically, some people are good at sharing how they do that, but other people, it just kind of comes. If you teach yourself how to do it, you learn and you have to overcome not feeling those things naturally or not doing those things naturally. You're better able to teach it to people who need it. So I know it can feel like a burden and it's heavy, your cross to bear and everything, but it can be there as a gift and an opportunity for you to grow in a way that gives you a massive amount of capacity to change people's lives. All right, guys, that is all for today. I love you all. Thank you all for listening. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or on Stitcher or Google Play. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, you can contact me at brian@overcominggraduation.com to share feedback on the show, ask questions, make recommendations on what you'd like to hear in future episodes, and anything else you would like to reach out to me for, even speaking engagements, talking to me about the workshops that I do. So please feel free to reach out at brian@overcominggraduation.com. I love hearing from you guys. And that's it, guys. That's all we got. Let's focus on that emotional state. Ask yourself that question. What is the emotional state I want to be in as I'm pursuing my goals? Doesn't have to be one, it can be multiple. But just setting that intention and getting clear on it, writing it down, can be a game changer for how you start living your life. Because then once you've set that intention in that emotional state, how do your habits change in order to support that change? I love you guys. Have a great one. And I'll be talking to you again real soon.